Yo, what is up? Good morning, Bitcoiners. So check it out. The institutions are here, and it turns out there might not be enough Bitcoin left on exchanges for the rest of us. It might be a good time to get on that mining train so you can get some before this thing takes off. Also, it seems like Vancouver, Canada is positioning themselves, or at least trying to position themselves, as the next Bitcoin city. Is this a power move or a bait and switch? I'm not quite sure. I guess only time will tell. The last thing we're going to talk about today, Milei is in the news again, and this time he's not just touting Bitcoin. So I'm guessing the central banks are safe. Anyways, I've got a jam-packed show for you today, and we've got like 15 minutes. So let's rip this Band-Aid off and get right into it. Welcome to Channel 256 News, your go-to source for the biggest stories in the Bitcoin and crypto space. I'm your host, Trevor Bello, and I'm going to do my best to get you all out of here as quick as possible so you can get on with the more important aspects of your life. So let's kick off the show. We'll start with the mining metrics for Friday, December 13th. All right, so at the time of recording, our block height is 874,503. The total network hash rate is 767.4 exahashes. We've gone up a little bit. The daily hash price for all you Bitcoin mining junkies out there is $61.65. On December 4th, we hit our all-time high of $103,900, and right now the price is sitting at about $99,850. Our last difficulty adjustment was 1.6% on December 2nd. The next difficulty adjustment will happen in 441 blocks on December 15th at 3.8%. The last thing in our mining metrics for Friday, December 13th is the fee environment. We're looking at about 7 sats per VByte. All right, now that you guys know how to make a better trade, let's get straight into our news stories for the day. So before we find out if you'll even be able to buy any Bitcoin next year, Channel 256 News is proudly brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. Bitcoin Mining World is more than just a mining equipment supplier. We are educators and realists. Our goal is to empower and uplift the next generation of Bitcoin miners. With your help, we can build a stronger and more resilient network through our training programs, our boot camps, and our ever-expanding network of miners. We are helping to decentralize the network and build an ecosystem where everyone can thrive and succeed. When you make a purchase from Bitcoin Mining World, you are supporting our mission to empower miners just like yourself and create a more resilient network for all. Let's mine the future together. For our first Bitcoin story, Bitcoin is leaving exchanges in record amounts, with over 200,000 Bitcoin withdrawn since the US election, marking the lowest exchange held levels in 7 years. These outflows, often in 10 million plus transactions, signal growing institutional demand, with Coinbase emerging as a key platform for these withdrawals. A single day outflow of 12,500 BTC, valued at 1.3 billion, highlights the scale of activity, as Bitcoin fights to maintain a $2 trillion market cap and $100,000 price. Reduced supply on exchanges and strong demand underscore bullish market sentiment and institutional confidence. On the Build a Mine podcast yesterday, I had a guest, Kent Halliburton. We were kind of discussing this very topic. There is a record low amount of Bitcoin on exchanges, and you've got the likes of Michael Saylor and other institutions buying a corporate boatload of Bitcoin every single day. It feels like here pretty soon, the only way that you're going to be able to get Bitcoin is to either, create a service and get paid in Bitcoin or mine Bitcoin. I guess you could always come up with some NFT crypto meme coin scam and scam your followers out of it. That's also another way to do it. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't go creating meme coins. We all know what's going to happen to them. Anyways, it seriously is getting pretty scarce out there. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. You guys probably want to get some Bitcoin before it catches on. All right, guys, this broadcast is brought to you by the MasterMINED Club. This week in the MasterMINED Club, we have a deep dive with Dan Blaine, an insurance broker from Marsh McLennan Agency, working within the Bitcoin mining sector. Learn how to protect your investment and prepare for the worst case scenario. Click the link in the description to join us today, Friday, December 13th, for our MasterMINED deep dive into ensuring your Bitcoin mine. That deep dive will be starting at 10 a.m. Central. You can find it on all of our X channels, and you can find it at the link in the description. Back to the news. Vancouver City Council has passed a motion to position itself as a Bitcoin-friendly city. The motion, titled Preserving of the City's Purchasing Power Through Diversification of Financial Reserves, Becoming a Bitcoin-Friendly City. That's quite the mouthful. Anyways, this motion aims to promote Bitcoin adoption and innovation within the local economy. The initiative includes exploring ways to incorporate Bitcoin into city services, encouraging businesses to accept Bitcoin payments, and fostering a supportive environment for blockchain technology. Vancouver's leadership seeks to attract investment and innovation by embracing Bitcoin's potential as a financial and technological tool. This could be a step forward for Canadians. In 2020, we all know what happened with the Canadian trucker protest, having their money seized and their bank accounts frozen. That was a scary moment for a lot of them. I don't know anybody personally, but I've heard a lot of stories. To me, Bitcoin is the solution to this problem. And if more cities empower their businesses and citizens to hold and transact in Bitcoin, then their people become stronger. Their people become more resilient and resistant to state corruption and inflation. So, at first glance, this does seem to be good news for Canada, but I am hesitant to just go ahead and jump on X and praise them for their actions. So, we'll have to wait and see how this actually turns out and see if they're actually trying to implement this as a real move or if they're just kind of doing a bait and switch and tricking people. I don't understand the jurisdictional laws and the governance of Canada very much, so I can't say, but I do know that, the likes of Justin Trudeau and others in the nation aren't really that positive around Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one, but I'm hoping that it's good news for the citizens of Vancouver, and maybe that'll leak into the rest of Canada as well. And with them, bordering the northern part of the United States, maybe, just maybe, we'll see some actions like that happening in the United States as well. Guys, we have mining sites for sale, turnkey and ready for you to step in and start mining today. Like I said earlier in the show, there's not that much Bitcoin left on exchanges, the lowest amount in 7 years. So what's a better way to acquire the best asset in the world than buying on exchanges? Well, mining it and being part of the decentralized revolution. Reach out to Yannick on Telegram or email to learn more. Links are in the description. For our last story of the day, Milei is making waves again, but this time it doesn't include taking a chainsaw to the state. Argentinian President Javier Milei has outlined his second-year agenda, focusing on tax reductions, currency competition, and expanding nuclear energy. His roadmap emphasizes financial reforms to encourage economic stability and growth, advocating for reduced reliance on monetary systems. The plan also seeks to boost energy infrastructure through nuclear power investments, aiming to modernize Argentina's economy while supporting technological innovation. Milei's vision reflects a push towards greater economic independence and sustainability. So, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about Milei. Well, I do know how I feel about this. I feel like, bolstering energy grids by investing in nuclear power and other technological innovations is a great move. It's absolutely amazing. And hopefully it turns out really good for the Argentina public. But my problem is that Milei has been outspoken about ending Argentina's reliance on central banks. But then it turned out that he's taking a giant loan from the IMF. So I'm not quite sure. I don't really trust politicians. And I said this yesterday, politicians, they'll say one thing, they'll do another. That's generally how they operate. Again, I really do hope this move works out for the people of Argentina, because whether Milei is honest, whether Milei is dishonest, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, no person, no citizen, whether it's Argentina, Venezuela, Canada, Europe, the United States, nobody deserves to wake up to 100% inflation of their currency overnight, or even in 1 year, or inflation at all. I mean, we trade our time for dollars or euros or pesos or whatever it is. We trade our time for that. And our time is valuable, and we shouldn't see that debased through inflation and taxation. So I do hope that this is a economic benefit for the people of Argentina. From an outside perspective, it does look like positive news, but again, only time will tell. I mean, really, who am I? Who am I to say yay or nay on something like this? So, anyways, guys, I promised I'd be out of here real fast. So that is all for today's broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 256. This broadcast was brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World and the MasterMINED Club. If you liked what you saw, please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe for more content. I'm your host, Trevor Bello, and I'll see you tomorrow for another news update. Until then, remember to stay grounded, keep educating yourself, and constantly grow.